Hello there everybody, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. Now, hopefully this will be our last episode. Let's just chase the meteorites away. But yeah, hopefully this will be our last episode and we'll be able to reach the final stage in this game, which will be Homo ergaster, the working man. Now, we're all very excited about that. Currently, we are still the Australopithecus afarensis, which was discovered in Ethiopia, but we hopefully will now be able to evolve over to the next species, which will be Australopithecus africanus. So let's have a look and see whether we reach that stage. Now, we need to get to 2 million years ago in order for us to actually get to that stage. Okay, so it turns out we didn't get to Australopithecus africanus the first time around. I have, however, done some off-screen grinding, and we're back actually at the start of the game, at the waterfall. I've been making my way across, doing all kinds of weird and wonderful things as we come along. Basically just things like building thorn walls 5 times, like this little floating one over here. Really a marvel of Pliocene engineering. Built a whole bunch of other walls as well, made things like the granite grinder in my hand 5 times. Did all kinds of things that will hopefully now push us beyond the 2.5 million mark, because that is what is necessary in order to evolve to Australopithecus africanus. So let's have a look then, see whether we are lucky enough that we now have made enough progress to get to Australopithecus africanus. We are 44,000 years away. Surely we will be able to make it now. And the answer is yes. We are now Australopithecus africanus, the Taung child. Taung being a place in northwest province of South Africa where this species was originally discovered. So really marvelous. We are becoming a little bit more advanced now. And this does mean we'll be heading into the last species, hopefully soon, which will be Homo ergaster, also sometimes called Homo erectus subspecies ergaster. So by this time, hominids were showing a little bit more tool use, hence the use there of the stone tool there. Not really that advanced necessarily yet. That's more where Homo ergaster, which means working man, comes in. That one did show quite a bit of tool use, whereas species up until now had, to some extent, used rocks, but not really the more sophisticated tools that we see being used in this game here. Here we go, we are at our new little settlement. And we are going to have a look around here. Where are we? So we are in the forest here somewhere, close to the brothers' megaliths, which means we're in the woodland actually, rather than the forest, the true forest. So we are relatively close. There's the lake. I think Crocodile Island would also be there. That's Crocodile's Island somewhere in the back there. Okay, now if we go into the evolution tab, right over here, you'll see we are currently 2.46 million years ago. We need to get to 2 million years ago in order to evolve into Homo ergaster. That is around about 460,000 years that we still need to evolve. Now, there are still 2 meteorites that we need to go and get. There's one in the savannah and there's one at the beach that we hadn't actually discovered. I think we went past the beach one without actually discovering it, so we have to go back for that one. It wasn't smoking by the time we got to it, so I'm going to be doing those 2 off screen, then hopefully at the same time carrying on with some of these ones here. Feared rival, for example, we still have to intimidate an elephant, a Miocene elephant, so we are going to be doing that as well. And we need to here kill the Miocene white rhinoceros. So if we do those 2, we are going to get quite a bit of years added as well. And then we also need to jump away from certain animals still. I think the elephant is one. We need to jump away from that twice. And we need to jump away or dodge the black mamba attack as well, twice. So I'm going to be doing that a little bit off screen, and I'll be back with you when I have done that. So we are making progress. We are in the savannah, and I just noticed that there was a major rainfall event, and suddenly there are locusts jumping all over the place. I have never seen this in this game before. So this is a typical... hello. We're just going to bash this guy here with this, or poke him with a stick. Come on. Leave us alone. I want to talk about the locusts, okay? But this is now a typical locust outbreak that you could see, well, could have seen a moment ago. There they go. Still a few of them hopping around here. I've never seen this in this game. This is quite amazing. So what would happen normally after big rainfall events is that there's a lot of food for the locust larvae, the nymphs, to actually eat. They would grow and survive initially as quite a lot of them together, little hoppers as they are called. And then over time, I think there's a Dorcas gazelle over there, yes. And then over time they would start getting wings and start hopping or flying around as, there we go, as they do around here. So it had just rained in this game just before I started recording this again now. And it's quite possible that that major rainfall event that we could see in the game has actually triggered a bit of a locust outbreak here. Now, they would have been amazing sources of food, but unfortunately, we can't actually eat them in this game. The only insects we really can eat, or the only true insects we can eat, would be the termites from the termite mounds over here. But then, of course, you could eat some other invertebrates as well. Things like the scorpions you can dig out in the hole to poke, or the snails, the giant land snails you can eat. All of those are obviously invertebrates that you can eat as well. Now, I am currently on a big rhino hunt, so I have to try and kill a Miocene white rhino. Now, the species that they've got in this game is most likely the ancestor to both the white and the black rhino that we do have in Africa, but it is quite possible that they actually came from Europe and moved into Africa and then split into both the African white and black rhino. But the Miocene white rhino that we've got in this game is most likely that ancestral species. Not sure whether they would have been here in Africa during the Miocene period where this game is playing off, but you never know. But there is one hippo in the distance over there. I'm just going to chase the gazelles away. And then we're going to go hunt a rhino. Now, I'm not sure whether we will even be able to kill it, but we are going to do our best. Remember, rhinos have got extremely poor sense of sight. There we go, so we've managed to poke him, but he's not dead yet. And let's just mark him as well, so that we don't lose him. There we go. So they will only be able to see up until about 30 meters away from you. I'm not sure what's happening here. But we are just stabbing him with a normal branch as well, because that is also an evolution feat over there. And then just trying to find him again. He is missing again, unfortunately. We'll hopefully be able to find him a little bit more to that side. Just sharpen our sticks, get ready for the rhino hunt. So this being the original idea of why hominids became bipedal, so that they could see over the tall grasses. And there is a rhino, not sure whether it is the same one as we had been poking. Oh, come on, game, don't lag now. Not sure, again, whether it is the same one, but let's have a look. I think it is the same one that we have now stabbed 3 times. Just going to mark him again so we don't lose him, and grab another stick. Rinse and repeat, people, rinse and repeat. And there we go again. Should only take 1 or 2 more stabs. And then that's going to be another evolution feat. But good hearing and good eyesight that the rhino does have. So it's able to hear us and smell us before it can actually see us. So we have to go in that direction to go and hunt him. And of course we are being attacked by the stupid hyenas as well. There's our rhino, our prize again. I really don't like hunting the rhinos. They are obviously endangered, in some cases critically endangered nowadays. But there we go, we have killed the Miocene white rhino. Very slow growing species, the rhinos. Not very fast reproductive rates. Takes a long time for them to produce little babies and then to raise those babies. And now, because we have killed this rhino, we may as well just eat him as well. Waste not. So the white rhino has a very broad mouth compared to the black rhino. The black rhino has a much narrower lip. I've never seen a black rhino in my life. I have seen a few white rhinos though. But the white rhino has got a broad lip that they use to eat grass with, whereas the black rhino, not so called because of the color, but so they're also known as the hook-lipped rhino. Let's just toss this rhino bone off into the distance. Whee! There we go. And they've got a narrow lip to eat the shrubs with, the leaves of the plants of the shrubs that they can eat. So let's just get them to also eat a bit. Okay, so we have managed to do another thing here by getting this evolution feat of killing the rhino done. That means I'm heading off to the Buffalo Basin Oasis, which is somewhere to that side. We've already eaten enough. Let's just toss that. So the Buffalo Basin Oasis, I think, is where we have the Savannah Boulders meteorite, which is apparently one that we still need, one that we haven't actually discovered. And I think that is somewhere in that direction. Well, actually, I think it's more to that side. More towards the Baobab side, if I can remember correctly. But we'll find out, as we go along. So it turns out I was actually heading in completely the wrong direction. The Buffalo Basin Oasis is actually there, close to the Rock Arrow Oasis, that massive rock that's standing out there. That looks very much, not quite like an Inselberg being an island mountain, basically. But in Namibia, you have a whole bunch of Inselbergs, for example, which is geological formations where the... Oh, hello, little Hipparion, little horses. Have we got... What snake have we got? Have we got... Oh, Black Mamba. Perfect. I need to actually dodge Black Mamba. Let's do that. That's once. One more time. There we go. Okay. We've successfully dodged the Black Mamba. That's another evolution feat done over there. But Inselbergs being geological formations where the hill or the mountain just stands out, completely removed from the rest of the landscape, or standing high above the rest of the landscape. And it just means mountain, island mountain, Inselberg. I quite like that word. But this reminds me very much of an Inselberg. That this is just most likely something like granite or some kind of volcanic rock that the area around it had... Ooh, hello. Oof. Pack hunting at its best with blackback jackals. Okay. But this here most likely just being granite, which is an intrusive igneous rock, basically volcanic rock, that everything around the rock had eroded away, leaving it standing on its own there. Okay, now we're at the Buffalo Basin Oasis, and somewhere around here the meteorite should be. Oh my word. Okay, this has taken way too long, but here we are. Okay, let's just hope, yes, all the babies are with us, so we can now inspect this meteorite. We finally found the one in the savannah. The thing is that after a while, the meteorites do stop smoking, which then makes it extremely difficult to actually locate. So, since we had already done a few evolution leaps, this meteorite over here was not smoking anymore. Hello, I see you. So this is the stalker cat. And soon it is going to have been the stalker cat. And there we go. Just getting rid of this little one as well. Oh yeah. So now that we have finally done that, I believe it is time to start to make a little settlement here somewhere. Probably right here at the Buffalo Basin Oasis. And then from here we are going to go intimidate an elephant But first, we are going to change generation so that we have a few more individuals than just our 3 hominids and the 6 babies. So we're just going to be doing that now. Alrighty then, it is now 7:30 it seems, so it's getting a little bit later in the evening. We are at the baobabs again, and this time we are going to go and chase the elephants. Let's have a look here. Unfortunately, there are also some golden macaridas and a white rhino here, but I need to do 2 things with the elephants here. Well, actually, try to do 4 things actually. Try to get them to kill a golden amphimacaridas, which is possible. Also, try to get them to kill a white rhino. There is one right over there. And I need to dodge an elephant attack twice. And also at the same time then, try to intimidate one. So let's have a look here. Let's first try to dodge, because that's going to be the easiest of the 4 to do. That's once. Come on, Ellie. No? Okay. Go away. Let's try with this one over here. Should be easy to get him to charge at us. And there we go, successfully dodged. Now we need to try and intimidate an elephant. Now we are all of us together here. All of them are having, or have 2 sticks in their hands. This may be possible. And we apparently have intimidated one. At least one of them has run away. Not sure which one, but apparently one of the elephants ran away. Okay, so that went well. Now we need to get this golden amphimacaridas not attack us. There we go, but to run towards the elephants, please, Ellies. Kill him. There we go. Yes. Oh, well, of course, if you've got the weight, why not use it? They've killed an amphimacaridas. Now, let's run away. And try to get the rhino chased towards the elephants. It should work. Come on, now elephants, do something. Now, in real life, there have been fights recorded between the African elephant and the white rhinos. Unfortunately, the rhinos often, as it does here, are killed in the process. Okay, unfortunately, this amphimacaridas has hurt one of our little hominids, the one over there. Okay, so we are going to go away from this area. We still need to also dodge the hippos. Now, I'm pretty sure we can get the hippos in that corner of the map over there. As far as I recall, that is where the drying pond is. Right, so I have left the majority of my tribe behind. We have settled here by the Harparion oasis, the little horses oasis, and we are heading off in search of a hippo. I can't believe I have not yet dodged a hippo. I have, of course, dodged rhino attacks, and we just did that again. But let's make our way over and have a look, see if we can find some hippos, and then hopefully dodge their attacks. And that should give us another evolution feat. So this is just rounding off the last bit of the game, trying to get to that 2 million years ago mark. Because as soon as we do that, we will evolve into Homo ergaster, the working man. Now, of course, as I've mentioned earlier, the Homo ergaster used to be also called Homo erectus subspecies ergaster, so the upright working man. But I guess they realized that most people are not working upright anymore. We kind of just slumped over and working as we go along with that. Okay, come on, Dorcas gazelles, just go away. Now, Dorcas gazelles do exist at the moment as well. They're becoming a little bit more threatened, though. And not only because of python attacks, but also due to hunting by humans. So in the habitat in which they occur, the Sahara Desert area, and in that area they of course are then under threat by humans. As we just bash another python's head in. We are getting close to the spot where the hippos would be. I'm pretty sure they would be in the... I'm hoping that they are in the oasis at the top there. So, of course, the species that we are now, Australopithecus africanus, far more upright than the previous species was, which, of course, was the Australopithecus afarensis. As we just chase another snake away. Right. Ah, there we go. Okay, so let's just chase these gazelles away again. There's our quarry, the Hippopotamus gorgops. The gorgops, basically, as it was also just called. Right, there we go. Massive hippos, as I've mentioned, could have weighed up to 4,000 kilograms, so 4 tons, which is about double the weight of the massive Nile hippo that we have nowadays. Okay, so we've done that. Now, very few things left for us to do. There is one more meteorite that I also want to go and visit. So for that, we shall be heading to the beach. Now, somewhere here by the beach tower, there would also be a meteorite. So let's quickly go and find that one, shall we? Okay, I think it is right up here. Should be. This should be the last one. The only one we have not yet discovered. Just waiting for a little slowpoke over there to come ambling along and finally join us here at this auspicious occasion. There we go, the last of the meteorites, the beach tower one. I think it's called the desert meteorite site. If I'm not mistaken, Desert's meteorite site. Yes, indeed. Okay, so we're on the beach. We've done the last of the meteorites. So we should now be able to get quite a few thousand years added. So when we evolve again. This type of environment really would have been good for things like these seabirds to actually nest in. Because it's a relatively steep-sided cliff. Very few things will be able to get here to actually eat the eggs. And so especially larger seabirds most likely would have nested on a nice flat outcrop like this. Nice landing spot for your bigger seabirds. Whereas your smaller species like these gulls would most likely have nested more along ledges like this one here. Or a little bit lower down. Is there a snake? There's a rock python down there as well. But some of the smaller ledges where they can land more easily. But big birds like the pelagornis cannot. Okay, so I have stripped a whole bunch of aloe leaves on the pile over here. And now we can just tell our little hominids over here to all grab a piece, apply it, and then we should be protected against the heat stroke. And if we do that 2 or 3 times, we should be fine. Now, as we are making our way back towards our settlement, and it is dusk now, you'll find that some new creatures also do come out. And I quite like the fact that they've done this. We've got black-backed jackals, which are now running around. There we go, there they are. So they were sleeping somewhere in the back there, up until the point where it became dusk, and basically nighttime. And now they are active. And that you'll find in a lot of different desert animals. They are mostly active at night, when it's nice and cool. So during the daytime, they will spend their time sleeping, and then at night, when it's cooler and they're not going to lose as much water by being active and running around, then they do start running around. So just thought something interesting to notice in the game as well if you are playing this. But I am making progress. I'm almost out of the desert. I will be back with you in a moment. Alright, as we are making our way to our settlement over there, we just passed an area where the jackals were also calling like crazy. Quite a haunting sound. I love that sound. But I know of quite a few people who are either terrified of that sound or really don't like it. Mainly because it means there are jackals in the area, and if you are a farmer with livestock, like sheep for example, yeah, those may be a little bit of a problem. So of course I've known a few people that really don't like the sound of jackals, but for me, it's just one of the most amazing sounds. That and a lion roaring in the middle of the night. Really just awesome. Oh, there we go. Typical ambush predator. Thorbjarnarsson's crocodile over there, ambushing the black-backed jackal. And goodbye, jackal. Haha. There's another little evolution feat just accidentally coming our way. A lot of these feats we did get accidentally, just by walking around and letting things play out. So we are hopefully now going to finally evolve into Homo ergaster, the first and only Homo species within this game. So the modern man. Now, of course, this will bring us to the end of the Ancestors playthrough. There is one thing I am going to do. If we do manage to get to Homo ergaster, I'm going to be doing that. So do stay tuned until the end to see what on earth that is. I've been waiting the entire game to actually do this. But of course that means that from now on we'll be moving on with the grounded playthrough. So, keep your fingers crossed that things go well in that series as well. It has been amazing playing Ancestors here with you guys coming along with this journey. But we are going to move on to grounded, of course, then now. And also potentially some Planet Zoo videos coming up as well. And then we are going to evolve. So fingers crossed, people. Let's hope we get to at least 460,000 years in the future, so that we can get to Homo ergaster. Let's have a look. Oh, we have done 493,000. We have 4 deaths. I don't know how on earth those 4 deaths happened. That was not me. But 18 births, 1.3 million years into the future, which takes us to Homo ergaster, the working man, more upright than any of the previous species that we had seen. This is the first time that I've actually reached this point, where we are now at Homo ergaster. Oh, this is just amazing. This species was also most likely the first to really start using tools. So previously, up until this point, the hominids had been using sticks and rocks and stuff like that, most likely in self-defense, and then accidentally may have killed a few things. So until this point in the game, it actually makes sense that we can't really go and attack animals. But Homo ergaster was most likely the one, as shown there with tool use, the first species that most likely used it in attack as well. And there's also a high possibility that they were the first species to use fire as a tool. So actively made fire and used it to cook food and to go and do stuff. So yeah, unfortunately we will not be able to use fire in our playthrough here. But if ever a second Ancestors game is made, we most likely would be able to make and use fire from that point onwards. And there we go, far less hairy than the previous species. We are now the first more modern man. Okay, unfortunately it seems we are back as our previous species. But nonetheless, I am going on a little solo adventure here to go with my hominid here, an adult male, and his name is Guo. And Guo and I are going to go to a very special place to do something that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. Okay, everybody, so Guo, the hominid over here, the Australopithecus africanus hominid, has ventured back into the woodland after many a threat that he had overcome. It is time for him to head up to the highest point in this game again. So let us go up the farther tree. Now this is of course quite a dangerous climb, but we are hopefully going to make it. Okay, so we are reaching the top here. And if we climb along here, reach the top point, this is now the highest point that we can access in the game. Unfortunately, it is quite a foggy day, but to that side would be the waterfall where we started the game. We then moved through the woodland area we entered into the more savanna environment over there, and then way in the back, they would technically be the coast. Now, Guo over here has had one hell of a journey, and very much like the one bushman in The Gods Must Be Crazy, he has traveled with his rock over here, and he's going to just toss that off the end of the world. Now, there is something that I have wanted to do in this game for a very, very long time, and that is to get a hominid to jump from the highest point and see if we can survive. So it has been great. Thank you all for joining me on this journey. Let's now see what Guo does. And, of course, join me next time when we will hopefully then be able to carry on with Grounded and see what happens there. So thank you all for joining. Stay safe. I will see you all soon. Whee! Whee! Yeah! Ta-da! I survived! How about that? Guo is a legend. Thank you all for joining. I will see you guys next time.